Okay, we have a question from Justin Whitman. He's very active on the Twitter, and he's a super fan of the show. What does Jason think about the flyover state movement that several angels and VCs are starting to publicize more and more on their social sites? As a bootstrapping startup in a flyover state, I'm interested in hearing what an angel looks for in possible venture outside of their own market. I am fully aware that an angel's time is limited, so investing in startups away from their home base would probably come with additional qualifying requirements. Great question. So I'm going to give you two counter arguments. I'm going to tell you what people think, the counter arguments, and then I'm going to tell you the truth. So there's one group of people who say innovation can happen anywhere. And this, of course, rings true to all of us because you've seen great companies. I was on the board of Dine, which was in New Hampshire, which had an exit of hundreds of millions of dollars. I was on the board for 2 years, and I would fly to New Hampshire twice a year. One time we'd be in Nantucket, another time in New Hampshire. I know it's a tough life for Jake Al. Then we'd have one board meeting in LA, one board meeting in San Francisco. It was amazing, an amazing company, the Google of the North East. And of course, you saw Snapchat come out of LA, worth, depending on who you believe, $5 billion to $20 billion. Dollar Shave Club, again, Los Angeles. And of course, you have Microsoft and Amazon in the Northwest. Now, those are not the flyover states. I just described East Coast and West Coast. Now let's go in between. Have we seen a $10 billion company happen in the Midwest, a flyover state, Florida, Chicago, any of those places? The answer is, sadly, no. You had Groupon, I believe, came out of Chicago. They did very well. You will have some companies come out of these markets that will do well. You have to understand, now I'm going to give you the counter argument, which is, like I said, you haven't had big outcomes in those states. So either one of two things will become true. Either great big multi-billion-dollar companies will come out of those states, or the people investing in them will accept lower valuations. The startups, instead of being worth $4 to $12 million in those early stages, up to Series A, maybe they'll be worth $1 to $5 million in their valuation, giving the investors there an entry point that is 1/3 of the valuation in Silicon Valley. And if that's the case, well, then the benchmark is set, the starting line is set so much earlier that you don't have to have a $1 billion outcome to get a 50x. This is what investors are looking for. A professional angel investor has to be able to imagine a scenario where they get 50, 100, or 500 times their money. Why does an angel investor need that kind of outrageous return? Right? The reason is because there's so much risk in backing a startup. So if I'm going to invest in a startup in Boise, Idaho, or in Chicago, Chi-Town, a lot of love for Chi-Town, or anywhere in between, Colorado, Arizona, Texas, wherever. If I'm going to invest in one of those markets, how do I get 50x return? Well, if there hasn't been a $1 billion outcome, then that means it's going to be very hard to get a 50x return or a 100x return on my money. And that's why the investors will spend their time first in Silicon Valley, where a 50x or a 100x return is very possible. It happens every year. We have billion-dollar companies created every month here in Silicon Valley. We have $10 billion companies created every year, multiple times a year, and we have $100 billion companies created here in Silicon Valley a couple times a decade. Facebook, Uber, Airbnb, Google, all of that group, Tesla, Netflix, they'll all be in that, let's call it 25 to well over $100 billion category. That's what angels are looking for. Now, there's a group of investors, Steve Case among them, who are saying, we're not looking for outrageous returns. Those are rich people who've already made their money. It's a different class of investors, and they have a different profile for success. The profile for Pierre Omidyar is not the greatest return, it's the greatest impact. He's an impact investor. So Pierre Omidyar, who founded eBay, co-founded eBay, he's looking for impact and return. But he's not like me or any of the investors here in Silicon Valley, which our return is the big reason we're doing this. We need to have outsized returns because we're investing other people's money. Yes, WordPress. I am so impressed with WordPress. I've been using it for over a decade at calacanis.com. It is the best content management system in the world. And we use it every day for This Week in Startups and Calacanis.com. Creating your website on WordPress.com helps others find you, remember you, and connect with you. Blogs are the deep personal connection your business and you for your career need. You don't need any experience. You don't need to hire somebody. You can do this all yourself. WordPress.com guides you through the entire process step by step with hundreds of beautiful designs for you to choose from, with built-in search engine optimization, built-in social sharing, and every plan includes a free custom domain name. No need to pay for a domain name. They're going to give it to you as part of the plan. The business plans let you access hundreds of plugins and themes, and that's one of the strengths of the WordPress ecosystem. Any little opportunity or problem or concept has been tried, and that there is a plugin or a theme ready to go for your unique needs. That's the power of this open source platform, right? Everybody with their plugins is trying new things, and then the best ones bubble up, and you get to leverage them. And you'll see why 28% of all websites run on WordPress. Yes, you heard that right. 28% of all websites run on WordPress because WordPress works. It's the web's most popular and powerful site building platform, bar none. So here's your call to action, everybody. Go ahead and get started today with 15% off any new plan purchase. Go to WordPress.com/twist, WordPress.com/twist to create your website and find a plan that's right for you. That's WordPress.com/twist for 15% off your brand new website. WordPress.com/twist. Thanks again to the WordPress team who have supported me at Calacanis.com and thisweekinstartups.com since the beginning. Thank you so much, WordPress. Okay, let's get back to this amazing episode.